Welcome to all of you. I am grateful that you've joined me today. I want to speak about something I've been working on myself. And it's a quote that we mentioned last week. I'm going to mention it again today. The quote says, and it's by Lao Tzu, TZU. Do you have the patience to wait till your mud settles and the water is clear? Can you remain unmoving till the right action arises by itself? Do you have the patience to wait till your mud settles and the water is clear? Can you remain unmoving till the right action arises by itself? I believe that what he is referring to here in my interpretation of it is when we allow the mind and the emotions to be calm, to return to a state of peace and transparency, then we are able to allow ourselves to return to a place of centeredness with our own spirit where guidance arises. Often I speak of the word inspiration as meaning in spirit. It is a place of awareness when we feel connected. And so finding ways of encountering a sense of connection and belonging and a sense of inner stability is key throughout the day. What I often find that helps is slowing down. I notice it a lot. For example, this morning, I was making myself soup. And what I find very therapeutic and very balancing about cooking is the sense of presence with every action. The sense of taking the garbanzos and cleaning them and touching them and making sure that each one of them is just right for the soup. Taking your time and slowing down and watching every action with a sense of attention and a sense of connection. I find it very soothing. What I've also noticed with that is that my thoughts are not going back and forth. So the mind settles. So again, this is what Lao Tzu is talking about. If I can allow my mind to settle, then everything kind of becomes a little calmer, a little more tranquil. So meditation does that. When we bring our awareness to meditation, we are working on something called one-pointed attention. So we're bringing all of our attention to one single moment in time. And as we do that, we allow either our awareness to settle in the breath or our awareness to settle in the body or in the sounds, at least in the way that I'm teaching you. These three gateways can lead us to that place of settling the mud and beginning to allow the waters to clear. So when I settle in my breath, and I bring all my awareness and attention to that one point in time, then I begin to find a doorway back into myself, back into the observer, back into the real core self. We've noticed, for example, when we experience anger or sadness, we recognize that that is not who we are. That at that moment, those waves or fluctuations of our energy field are present and seem very real and seem very much a part of who we truly are, but they are not. They are a passing cloud in the eternity of who you are. The eternity of who you are. This aware space, this part of you that observes you, this part of you that can find ease when the mud settles. Finding ways to restore a sense of stability is key. And I often find what also helps is present awareness. So aware of this moment. So coming back to the cooking, I am aware of what I am doing in that moment as all my attention is resting in a particular action. Cutting the garlic or the onions, stirring the pot. And so this one pointed action, one pointed awareness, allows the rest of me to rest, allows the mud to settle. So in this particular classes, we've been talking about using our breath and awareness of sound and awareness of the ground as a way of coming back into that place where the mud can settle. What I also find that is key is letting go of expectation. As we've mentioned in past classes, letting go of expecting what the next moment might be like. For example, when I made my soup today, I really had no idea how it was going to turn out. But I said, I'm going to try it. Right? I'm going to try new spices, a little mix of interesting little things I've been playing with, and just taking it one step at a time in that way. So beginning to come back to finding rest in small moments, in moments of small tasks, whether that's writing, whether that's driving, whether that's just allowing yourself to really settle in the present moment as you're walking, as you're taking one step at a time. I actually thought of that this morning when I was cooking my soup, how meditative that was. It's very similar to when we are doing walking meditation. And as soon as COVID is settled down a bit more, I'll go back to teaching in person. And we'll have retreats and we'll practice some of this walking meditation techniques. But in the meantime, you can also do so. And that is bringing awareness to every step as it gently caresses the ground. Really recognizing, what does each step feel like? In this moment as you're sitting or laying, for example, what does the body feel like as it settles in this moment? Am I aware of my body as I listen? Am I aware of my breath? And can I also extend my awareness to the sounds around me as I hear this audio, as I see this video? Can I allow myself to be fully present in the now? And as thoughts drift, can I bring the awareness back into this moment, this breath, this body, this ground, and rest here? How can I rest my soul from the life that I have lived up to this point? How often do you really allow yourself to rest? To allow the body and the emotions and the physical form to really settle and find peace. And what I specifically love about Lao Tzu's quote is that he is not seeking peace in that quote. He's simply allowing the water to rest. So it made me think of situations in my life when emotions have been heightened. Situations where either anger or sadness or grief or more difficult frustration, energies that seem to take over in the body or seem to take over in the mind. And how if in that moment I just stop and not do anything other than allow the turbulent waters to be. If you've ever seen a pot with a lot of water and you just kind of move it like this and the water's a little turbulent, if I can just put the pot down and the water will begin to soothe. If I can sit with myself and allow the emotions to be, not out of trying to resolve anything in that moment in time, for one moment in time, but to simply allow myself to feel and breathe out, to feel my body again, to restore the calm and the space of inner balance. And then allow inspiration to arrive. then allow yourself to have access to the wiser part of you, the place of loving kindness, the place of who you really are. And slowly and gently this way, we can find our way back home to the true self, the self that you are. And from that place, I can only speak for myself, forgive myself for the times that I forget. Forgive myself for the times that I am human. Like that I scream at somebody or look at somebody in a specific way. Forgive myself for the times when I am not my true self or my highest self. And in that same way, forgiveness can be a path of allowing the mud to settle. One thing I've also been working on before we come into meditation is the teachings around acceptance and accepting what is. One way that I'm bringing that teaching to myself, I'd like to share it here, is I'll plan for a specific meal, for example, and regardless of whether it comes out good or bad, how our mind sometimes thinks it's either good or bad, black or white, to still have it, to not reach back into the refrigerator and say, no, I'm going to eat this other thing. No, eat what's here. Be with what's here. That's one way. Accepting whatever shows up throughout the day. You might have expectations of what that day might be like. Maybe somebody's a little more grumpy or you're a little more grumpy. Can I accept with loving presence what shows up? And that doesn't mean, I often have to explain this, that you accept bad behavior or behavior that is abusive towards you. No, by all means, that's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is the way you take it in, the way you experience that within your own inner sense of awareness, you have more control over that. Can I allow myself to find peace even in the moments that are uncomfortable? Even in the moments that seem threatening. And so like that. So today we will be practicing on accepting what shows up during our meditation practice. Accepting if there's an itch, accepting if there's sounds in the background, accepting perhaps I didn't pick the right posture or the right position at that moment. Can I make peace with what shows up? Can I make peace and allow the mud to settle? Okay, so that will be our work. So we'll begin our meditation today by finding a comfortable position. And allowing the feet to touch the ground if possible. And if that is not accessible, allowing yourself to feel connected to the ground. Whether that is placing the palms facing down onto the ground, or onto the bed, or onto the chair, with a sense of connection to the ground, to what supports you in this moment, the chair, the sofa, the bed. And allow yourself to scan the body and let the body settle. As if you were a pot filled with water, letting the water settle, remaining unmoved. Simply bringing the awareness to the breath. observing the rise and fall of the breath, noticing the way the breath comes into the body and the way the breath comes out of the body. Noticing the left toes and the left sole of the foot and the left ankle and the left knee and the left hip. Noticing the right toes and the right sole of the foot and the right ankle. Noticing the right knee and the right hip settling into the body, allowing the breath and the body to be calm and at ease. Noticing the lower belly and allowing this area to relax, as well as the hips and lower back. Noticing the diaphragm and belly button relaxing. Noticing the chest and the back of the heart and the front of the heart relaxing. Noticing the shoulder blades, relaxing, and the back of the neck and the clavicle and the front of the neck and the hollow of the neck relaxing. Allowing the jaw and the shin to relax. Relaxing the tongue and the cheeks and the lips and the nose and the left eye and the right eye and the left eyelid and the right eyelid. Relaxing the brow and the forehead. Relaxing the crown of the head and the skull, and the left ear and the right ear. Relaxing the whole left side of the body, the left arm, the left elbow, the left wrist and left fingers. Relaxing the whole right side of the body, the right arm, the right elbow, the right wrist and fingers. And aware of the breath and calling in light to yourself through the breath, as if you could breathe in peace and grace through the breath. Allowing the body to let go and relax even further, as if being bathed in a protective, calming and soothing light. And sensing that light flowing through the crown of the head, all the way down the head and the face, all the way down the neck and the shoulders and the arms and hands, all the way down the chest and belly, feeling so calm, so relaxed, so at ease. Letting go as you allow this light to flow through the whole back of the body and the sides of the body and the legs and feet, completely enveloped in light. And imagine yourself now going up an elevator, going up into the highest level. And as you sense yourself going up the floors, allowing yourself to let go even further, allowing yourself to come into a deep place of peace and comfort. And sensing yourself rising up into a room filled with light, noticing the door opening and encountering a beautiful being of peace, of light, of wisdom as you open the door of the elevator. And this wise teacher is here to help you see the bigger picture, understand the greater lessons of your life in the year ahead. And sensing yourself walking with this being of light to a large table. And on this table rests a book of your life, of all that you've done and are yet to do, of all that you've known and are yet to know and experience. And see this book clearly in front of you in this table. And feel the guide, the teacher who is here, guiding you to open a particular area of this book. And ask them to show you, what do I need to know today that will assist me in the next year, that will assist me in my life now. And receive with clarity their message now. And sense yourself opening your heart to their guidance, to the guidance of this wise, illuminated self. And see within this room the part of you that is wise, the part of you that is beyond time and space. See this part of you come forth now. And ask this part of you, what does it wish for you to know at this time? And is there a gift that you are now ready to receive? And let yourself receive that. And thank this part of yourself and this wise teacher. And know that you can come back at any time to this wise space. And begin to notice that in this room, there is another room. And begin to walk towards that room now. A place where we connect directly to the divine presence, the great intelligence or mystery of the universe, God or grace, the wisdom of creation. And see yourself walking towards that room now. And as you open it, allowing yourself to sit in this space and receive whatever you are now ready to receive. And to let go of whatever you are now ready to let go of. Allow yourself to breathe in peace as you sit in this room now, receiving healing and receiving peace. Feel yourself surrounded by this divine grace, soothing, deep peace and tranquility. Let it restore you and heal you. Allow the mud to settle and the water to become clear. Breathing in grace. Allow yourself to surrender even more. And very gently beginning to sense yourself whole, calm, and deeply peaceful as you allow yourself to come back down the elevator now, out of the room, coming down the elevator, back into your body, allowing yourself to gently transition into the awareness of this moment in the body as it breathes, settling down, allowing the sense of the breath and the ground and the sounds to further relax you, further allow the peace to remain. As you begin to transition back into this present moment easily and effortlessly now, so calm, so relaxed, such peace. And opening the eyes now completely back into this present moment. And when you are ready, going about your day or evening. And just notice how you gently transition back into the now. Can I remain in that deep state of peace and calm as I return? Can I allow myself to settle back gently? And come back into this present moment as I'm ready. And when you are ready to share with the group, please go ahead and unmute yourself. And do that.
Morning.
Good morning, Ali. Hi, honey.
And it's such a beautiful experience. Thank you for
Thank
guidance.
you.
And at one point after saw the book, I saw an Indian that I guess was, I don't know, I know him. Uh, and he showed me and he gave me seeds.
Yeah.
Seeds to put in my heart, but also another seeds to spread the seeds.
That's right. That's right.
That's
Well, I am receiving in regards to that the work with the Munaiki.
mm,
So to definitely journal, write a little bit more about that. And so when we receive such clear guidance through our meditation to go back and write a little bit more about what the seeds mean, usually when the experience is happening, we can gather what it means through the sensation or the feeling that comes through. Do you recall anything else about it?
peace.
That's right. So seeds of
Spread
peace.
the yeah. It's like the light of peace in seeds.
Wow, exactly. So how can I spread my peace?
Mm,
How can I plant the seeds? One of the interesting things that was mentioned in this meditation was to receive guidance for the upcoming year and the time ahead. And so perhaps that might be something
mm,
for you to continue to explore. How can I how can I spread the seeds of peace and receive them also in my heart? Because that's where you receive them, right?
mm-hmm. Yes,
Mhm.
yes. And I still, I need to write it down.
Yes, 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 yes. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
Thank you, sweetie. Who else would like to share? Or should I call names?
Um, Hi,
Celeste, hi.
how are you?
Guy, good.
So in my case, as I was growing up, I remember parts and some parts. I went blank. That happens to me. But then when I got to the first room or wherever it was, and then when you guided us to, I don't remember certain things that you were saying, but then I went into the second room that you mentioned, and it was like a little, it was smaller and it was like a square. And I went in and I was in the center. And then from each corner of the room, the pillars that
Mm-hmm.
we have mentioned and worked with, from each corner, beams of light were coming straight to my heart from each corner, but like steady, like going in. And then I could see myself in the center. So my higher self was observing me receiving this light. And that was like almost like the entire time, because I don't remember other things happening, but my higher self seeing myself receiving all this light. And then at one point, all that light became one light in the center of my heart. And then it became one huge beam that went up and down from the center of my body, like on the from the crown down and up.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it, because I don't remember. Well, I remember going down the elevator at one point. So it was like just light.
Yeah.
It was very peaceful, and it was wonderful. I felt really good.
Thank you so much. Do you mind sharing again what the pillars were?
It's the love, truth, light, and I don't remember the other.
Peace.
A peace.
Peace.
Thank
That's
you.
right. Thank you.
I
Yes.
always
So,
forget one.
so being received all in the heart, correct?
Yes,
Do,
everything was going to the heart.
do we remember what the fifth one is?
It just,
Oneness.
Unity.
Unity, exactly. Oneness. So bringing it all together into the center of the heart.
yeah.
So how can I bring those pillars of awareness and consciousness into my heart, into my presence? And, similar to the imagery that we received from Alicia as well, receiving peace into the heart, right? And so receiving these different aspects of light into the heart, the place of truth, the place of light, of love, of peace. Beautiful, beautiful experience, Celeste. Thank you for sharing. And Alicia, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Tere?
Thank you for this meditation.
Thank you.
This one was very deep. I saw a lot, which I haven't in a while. And in a previous meditation this week, I remember seeing a being helping me, like a guide, not knowing who that person or that guide was. And then I saw that one again, and I recognized it was my soul.
Wow.
I hadn't had that encounter before, and I just felt my soul just hug me and support me. And I remember my soul just wrapping my hands, like it looked like a tape, like my hands, and then just touched my hands, and I felt electrified, like my soul was giving my power back.
Oh, wow. Beautiful.
In one of the rooms where I saw a guide show me the book of my life, I kept seeing Florida, just the state of Florida over and over, and not a flamingo, a pelican. I'm going to do some deep searching on what that means, but I'm not sure what that means. A lot of peace. The waters came in again, and I just felt like I was being cleared. And there was a moment where I just remember feeling fear, and the ego was removed, like the fear was dropped. There's one image that I kind of had in mind, and I think it was the doubt. I saw gray feathers, and I don't know what gray feathers mean. So I feel like that's where I had the fear come up. Kind of like, what are these gray feathers?
Okay. And so to note, what you've learned in our classes is to go back in meditation or in journal writing and ask, what does that mean? Why is that coming up? Why the gray feathers? Go ahead.
Oh, no, that was it. But no, very, very peaceful and very, very deep. Thank you.
Oh, and thank you for sharing, sweetie, and thank you for speaking out. One thing I wanted to mention, what I love about my classes is that I come with a plan, and then the plan gets completely derailed. I was going to work on something else today, but this needed to be done. And what I invite you to consider is connecting with this higher self, soul self, as Tere was mentioning. This part of ourselves that is wise, this part of ourselves that is connected, deeply ingrained with grace, and it's always present and it's always available to us here. Often many guides or teachers speak about connecting to angels and guides and other beings of light and truth. I'd like you to explore connecting with you and the part of you that is wise and the part of you that is always here and is always present. And it's not that far away from you, more away from your reach. And I find that it helps foster a sense of faith in yourself, a sense of hope in yourself, a sense of friendship with you, which I think can be very useful in times like these, where we have, and we are invited to spend a lot more time alone or a lot more time with ourselves, to come back to this deep sense of friendship with you and that you have you, and that regardless of what might be going on in the outer world or the circumstances of your life, that at the end of the day you come back to sleep and you come back into this body and you close your eyes and you return here to home. Can I allow myself to see my own heart as my home, my own mind as my home, my own body as my home? Can I come back here? And can I let the water settle as I observe my life through me, through that deep core of my being? Can I allow myself to build a deep sense of friendship with me? So that is the invitation I would like you to explore this week. And spending those moments of quiet with yourself, whether it's 5 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day, it's very helpful. Elena, sweetie, did you want to add something?
Hi, I'm sorry. Thank you. This was a very beautiful meditation for me. I had to take my headphones off so I could write down everything that I experienced. So I only heard the tail end of Tere's beautiful meditation, which she got. But I think from hearing you, I think everyone, I'm not sure, met themselves. And I love how you say that we search for things inside ourselves. They are inside us. We are. A lot of times we know, and we're, for me, my meditation, I am my own guide. I'll just make this quick. When I rose up into the elevator, I knew that was an aspect of myself greeting me. As I sat down on the table and my higher self, I had seen my higher self. My gift was my knowing, my knowledge. My book was empty. As soon as I opened it, on the left, there was like a 3D gem heart. And then the right page was blank, and I was instructed to put my hand on it. I write my own book. I write my destiny. I write my life. And when I entered God's room of healing, when I had a very deep healing in that room. But my message when I left is don't deny yourself. Be what you want to be. Do and live as you want to live your life.
It is all here for us. So we are, in a sense, living our lives. We need to realize, remember who we are and how we carry the divine within us. And things like you say, let the mud settle. And once everything clears, you will see that you can achieve what you want to achieve. You can resolve the pain and the hurt. Um, it is possible. And I think sometimes we are our own stone in the road, as someone said in a previous meditation. We can either kick the stone out of the way or walk around it, but a lot of times we are our own, we block ourselves. So always come back to us. And I think that's why this type of meditation specifically now is when we come back to us, we can see that we can um, resolve all those issues that we've been having problems with, that we look outside for help, but it's really within us very strongly. I believe that is definitely within us when we connect. So I hope that for everyone, that we are able to truly deeply connect with ourselves, because we are all that divine light.
I am so grateful you are sharing that, truly.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your beautiful experience. And if I may, I want to add something to that. We carry the divine within us. We carry the divine within us. What does that feel like to know that? What if I carry the highest potential of who I can be within me already? What if I am my guides and angels? What if I am my saving grace? This is the invitation that comes in when you recognize you can be your own best friend. You can be the solid ground on which you stand. You can restore faith in who you are and trust you again. Rest in your heart. Let the mud settle, the thoughts, the doubts, the fears, the worries, the life not lived, the outcomes you have not received. Let it all settle. And return back to your own heart, the heart that knows who you are and why you are here. The heart that knows, as Elena has mentioned, I write my own destiny. I lead my own path. What is this I? What is this part of you? Explore that. Encounter that. Make time for that. Jessica, did you want to add something?
Hi, yes.
Hi, sweetie.
What I got goes back to everything everyone just said. I saw a white book, like a white leather book, and when I asked what should I look at, they said page 223, and then I opened it, and then I heard wisdom, and then I also searched 223 when we finished to figure out what that meant, like the number, and it says encourage you to have self-belief, faith, and trust in yourself.
Wow.
Yeah.
So cool. I love when the universe
Right?
does stuff like that you're like, synchronicity. Say it again, please. So 2223 or 223 means?
223 encourages you to have self-belief, faith, and trust in yourself and the angelic and spiritual realm.
Amen to that. Thank you, Jessica. Continue.
And then they said, basically, you are chosen for this, and you need to live up to it, like believe it, that you can do this. And so it's just like self-believing within myself.
Yes.
And yeah, that's it.
Oh, thank you so much. That is extremely beautiful and powerful. And thank you for sharing that number. You know, the universe speaks to us all the time. And are we listening, you know, to the signs and to the messages that we receive? But I like, Danielle, did you want to add something? I'm sorry. Jessica, was there something, one at a time? Jessica, was there something else you wanted to add, sweetie? Or we're good?
No, that's it. Oh, my gift was light.
Yes.
That's it.
Oh, that's it. Just light. Spread the light, shine the light, spread the
Yeah.
seeds, as Alicia said. Good, good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Danielle?
Yes, just piggybacking on what everybody's been talking about of belief in self. It's kind of like when you told us to picture the guide once we were in that light space, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so the guide, the light being, and then you eventually took us to picture ourselves in that space, our higher selves. And in that sense, the guide became myself, or myself was the guide.
That's
Like
right.
you know, so it's so funny that everybody's having the same revelation of trusting self, or the self being the guide and being what you all that you needed to be. So I wanted to
Because
kind
the
of,
truth is the truth, Danielle. That's why.
yeah,
There's only one being.
exactly.
Only one being. Us. Together.
Always, like you said, synchronicity. Everybody's having their own little experience, but the same experience, with the same message coming through as well. And just to say quickly that I also saw, rather than a book, I more saw images of key moments throughout my life. At least I took it to be this life alone. And then I saw an issue that I had to deal with, or something that I had to focus on, having to do with like a gunshot or shooting, which has nothing to do with my life now, but that does come up. So I don't know what that's about. If that's a past life or something.
So in meditation, I would do some journal writing, but don't come at it from fear. Come at it more from a sense of perceiving it from this wiser aspect of you, just kind of observing it and writing from that space as the wise you, the part of you that you saw in the meditation, the part of you combined with the guide. And in truth, there is only you, you and you, So.
Right. Yeah, and then when I opened the door to get to the divine, for me, when I went into that second door, it was dark, but not dark in the sense of negative, but dark in the sense of just depth and being. And that's
Yes. Oh, how beautiful. Thank you for sharing. So this meditation, as all my meditations, will be on YouTube, so you can hear it at any that you like, benefits you, or sharing it with others. Thank you, Danielle, for sharing. Just let the mud settle in, and let the information settle in as well, of all that we've received today, of your own awareness of connection with the divine, your own sense of oneness with this wise aspect of you, and the synchronicities of a wise universe that is always communicating with you. It is truly magical. As Katrina would lovely say, life is truly magical, and even the difficult situations in our lives can bring lessons and opportunities for growth and opportunities of wisdom. And so can I look at my life from a lens of gratitude? Can I look at my life through a sense of the miraculous? This week, I saw fog on top of a lake for the first time, very, very close. And it was magic to me. It was a sense of gratitude that I have eyes to see, that I have a body to feel and to sense the air that was around me at that moment. All I could feel was awe at being alive. And it was interesting because just a couple of steps back, I was sad and I was thinking about something that had occurred. And at that moment when I encountered that presence of grace in the now, it all dropped. And that sense of the mud settles, and I was back into this present moment of grace and beauty. There's such beauty in life, such miracles that happen all the time, and we don't see them. How held we are by life, protected by life, and guided. And so I invite you this week to make time to find the sacred beauty of your life. There's only one of you. That is not a theory or some new agey concept. It's the truth. There's only one of you. Only one special expression of all that you have come to be. Like clay, you've been molded as you are for a reason. What are you going to do with this beautiful life ahead of you? Live from that place of truth and love and light and peace and grace that is you. And let yourself be guided from that place of inspiration. I send you all my love and light. And I am so grateful for all of you having been here today. It is always an honor and a pleasure for me to be able to do this work together. And as always, we let Katrina bless us with her magic.
Hi, everyone. Have a magical Sunday and lots of love and blessings to everyone here.
Thank you, Katrina. Bless you all.
Thank
Many
you.
blessings.
Blessings.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you.
Bye.